Welcome to NBA Basketball. I'm Damon Bruce, and we've got you covered here on
2K Sports checks in with their loyal viewers with the broadcast from Boston, the home of the Celtics. The starting fives for our game. Here are tonight's starting lineups. A factor in every game. Pau Gasol will be on display.
Well, he's such a versatile scorer offensively. I mean, Gasol's a guy who shoots with range. We saw him even make some threes last year for the Lakers. But really good at the mid-range area, and he'll just punish smaller defenders down on the block with either hand.
And, you know, some have labeled him a finesse big man, Steve, but I think he's consistently one of the league leaders in offensive rebounds. You can't be a finesse guy and gobble up offensive boards. He's got that big height advantage, especially at power forward.
Looking at Boston, they took the win in their last game against the Magic in Orlando.
They look very stable, pretty much from the get-go, guys. A solid output, solid effort. And, you know, sometimes you'll see some inconsistencies come up in a road game, but they were pretty solid there.
I was very impressed with the balance they displayed, guys. Different people carrying the load, scoring, making assists, unselfish play. Everything was working for them to get that victory.
That shot wide open. Prince has got himself on the board with 3 there.
And you can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
I think it's fair to say that the top of the Eastern Conference has been getting tougher over the last few seasons. Unfortunately for the Sixers, they've headed the other direction. They've been going south, and part of why they were on the outside of the playoffs looking in.
Now here's Gay. He picked up 12 points in their last win against the Magic in Orlando.
And not to mention 4 big steals on the night. He was getting it done at both ends of the floor.
Philadelphia's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Hill passes to George. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3. And back to what you were saying, Clark, about Philadelphia going through a lot of roster changes last year. You're right, in a season where a lot of other teams in the East put it all together. Steve, bad timing for Philadelphia.
Yeah, bad timing. Roster changes and injuries, of course. I mean, the big trade for Bynum looked like it was going to be something that could help them get to the top of the East, but Bynum never played a single game for them. And so it's understandable why Philadelphia struggled.
Dragic kicks to Hibbert. It's to Thompson. Defended by George. It's Thompson off the drive. Outside Dragic. There's the pass to Bosch. 6 on the shot clock. Nice ball movement by Boston. Gay, that's a 2-pointer. Hits the outside fadeaway. Gay's got 5 now.
Kevin, that's beautiful. With the guy all over him, the fadeaway was about the only option he had, and he cashed in on it. Well, an interesting revelation regarding Rudy Gay came out recently. I mean, he's had vision issues for years and refused to wear corrective lenses, contacts, or goggles. That might explain why a player with such a great looking stroke will struggle with his shooting percentages from outside.
And Clark, you talked about Rudy Gay declining to wear contact lenses. Steve, that doesn't seem to make any sense to me.
Well, there's got to be a good reason for it, and I haven't talked to Rudy about it. But look, I mean, every player has to be comfortable out on the floor. You either wear goggles or wear contacts or don't wear anything at all. I mean, whatever is comfortable, that's the most important thing. Beautiful work in the transition game.
That's how to do it. Attack early before the defense can get itself set.
So the 76ers, their last game, lost to Charlotte.
That was a tough game for them to lose, guys, because they really played well throughout the game.
I agree there, but despite the result, I think they can definitely take some positives away from it.
Just over 2.5 minutes played here so far in the first quarter. Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
I was able to catch up with the head coach of the 76ers. He'll be up against one of the true giants of the league in Roy Hibbert, and he talked about how impressed he is with Hibbert's dedication to improving his game, saying he's gotten better year after year, and now is one of the guys you have to account for really at both ends of the floor. Defensively, you've got to get low and try to root him out of the paint, and then on offense, we'll probably look to put him in pick and rolls to test his mobility. Seems like a smart strategy, guys. We'll see how they do.
All right, Doris, thank you very much. Now here's Hibbert. Gay dishes to Hibbert. The Celtics need to get a shot off. Gay misses.
And it is very dangerous to leave him open like that. Lucky break for the defense that he missed it.
Hill. It's rebounded by Dragic.
You know, typically, guys, he has the body control to finish when he's in that tight. I'm not sure what happened there.
He feeds it to Gay. Hibbert with a screen on Prince. A three. Shot is off. And it's Philadelphia the other way. First chance of the season for them to go up against this Celtics team.
And last year, boy, it was fun watching these two teams get together. They split the season series. Very even matchup.
Now Dragic. Paul George missing from long range. It's Gay with the drive. Gets it to go.
Well, he's found his game and his rhythm this quarter. He's gotten into a nice groove.
Steve, as you said, these were maybe the two most evenly matched teams in the conference.
It was such a hard-fought series. I mean, it would be great to see a similar series this season. You know, the Celtics ruled the Atlantic starting with their title run in '08, but last year it finally came to an end, that ruling of the Atlantic. 5 straight years of winning their division is now behind them.
And that one's good. Celtics trail by 3. And back to the Celtics in the Atlantic. You knew it was going to be hard for them to keep winning the division with all the talent, Steve, that has come into it within the last couple of years.
Well, it was a great 5-year run for Boston in terms of winning the Atlantic. But, you know, with the up-and-coming teams in New York and Brooklyn, all of a sudden Boston is looking ahead, looking above them to the other teams in the division. And now it's time to make another push, another rebuilding job, and get back on top.
I think it's safe to say, guys, that the Atlantic Division was one of the tougher ones in the East last year. Not all of the NBA, but both New York teams improved and Boston made the playoffs as usual. Philly was able to hold their own, though, even in a down year.
Robin Lopez has checked in for Pau Gasol. Well, Clark, as you said, Philadelphia did remain respectable against the rest of the Atlantic Division, even in the last season. Steve, they had a 7-9 record for them, and even though they weren't 500, they certainly played better against the Atlantic Division than they did outside the Atlantic.
Yeah, and I think a big part of that is because there's some deep-seated rivalries between teams like Philly and Boston and New York. So even if a team like the Sixers is struggling, their fans are going to bring it on those nights when the rivals come to town.
Just 5 to shoot. Garnett, he's covered by Box. 4-on-3 break. Here's Dragic. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
So he's so good at recognizing where the openings are and getting the ball to the rim.
And the 76ers decide to take their first time out here.
Well, you know, last season I think officially brought the immediate championship aspirations of the Celtics to a close. The 7th seed in the East, dispatched in the first round by the Knicks. The rebuild was on in full cycle.
The 76ers making the switch here. Allen's checked in. Back to Prince. Kept alive. Second shot opportunity. And Lopez with the nice bucket inside.
You know, he's really adept at keeping possessions alive by hitting the boards and cashing in on some of those putbacks.
And Steve, you look at him, he is a banker. I mean, he really enjoys the physical aspect of the game.
Here's Davis. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
You know, that putback's about as easy as it's going to get. You have to put a body on someone down there.
Well, no box out. That's the result you get right there.
Andre Kirilenko's checked in for Philadelphia. And back to the Celtics, making the playoffs, sure, but, you know, not like Steve back in 08 or 2010.
Well, this has been a phenomenal era with KG and Pierce that is now a thing of the past. But look, they've hoisted a championship banner, very close to another. But it's just time to move on, and that's just the way it is in the NBA. These things go in waves, and the Celtics now in rebuilding mode.
Here's Dragic, following the score by Andre Kirilenko, and the jam by Rudy Gay.
You can see the eye contact there. Gave a little nod and then burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
No doubt, Clark. A pair of teammates with a terrific feel for each other out on the floor.
And what a play to make it a close game, a potential momentum builder.
So it's Philadelphia now. After Rudy Gay's bucket puts up a three. The shot by Kirilenko, no good. Dragic with it, now defended by Prigioni. The drive for the ball. Out of bounds, Philadelphia takes possession.
Well, let's take a look at where Philadelphia ended up rank-wise in the league last year. Second in fewest turnovers per game. 11th in assists. And they were in the top half of the league shooting the ball from deep. Average to pedestrian. but still fairly effective from them.
Very well-coached team, Clark. I mean, you look at the numbers, and you talked about the few turnovers, the top 5 in the league, in fact, in fewest mistakes. So there's a well-disciplined, well-coached team, and when they're on their game, they're just one of those teams you hate to play against because they don't give you anything easy.
Boris Diaw from France, really a unique player. I mean, he came into the league, guys, as more of a playmaking small forward. Now he plays at the power forward spot, and he's still much more of a passer than he is a scorer.
Here's Prihione. Allen kicks to Kirilenko. Back to Allen. Dishes it to Prihione. Philadelphia moving the ball around. Teletovic misses. And Clark, you mentioned Diaw's skill level. The biggest or most athletic guy, but, you know, Steve, he's still effective.
He's really a great basketball player. What I mean by that, just he knows angles, he knows how to use his body to create passes and shots for himself. And defensively, he's very effective, particularly guarding the post because of his strength.
Here's Prihione after the made shot from Green. Kirilenko kicks to Prihione. Back to Kirilenko. And there's the feed to Teletovic. Fires for 3. The shot by Kirilenko, no good. The Celtics have gone 8 of 15 from the field, shooting above 50% here tonight. Telfair kicks to Jerebko. The dish to Telfair. He passes to Davis. That falls. Great assist by Sebastian Telfair. Davis has got 5.
And they've set up countless buckets off assists. That's a huge part of what they've been doing here today.
A lot of dime dropping going on out there, Steve.
Kirilenko the pass to Diaw. Shot to end this full run. Stupendous rush to the rim and a mighty slam on the end of it.
But through the teeth of some pretty soft D, I can't help but say that.
Well, let's see how that impacts things here, because those kinds of plays sometimes can be game changers on both sides.
Now Telfair. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Prihione dishes to Diaw. He kicks to Prihione. Outside Kirilenko. Great D that time for Martin.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
Outside, Davis. The finger roll finish at the bucket. Davis has got 7 points.
Good defense, but you gotta love the finish with the finger roll over the top.
Here's Teletovic. A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Celtics out in front, up 2. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we return. And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. What do you guys think about the Celtics here in this one?
And they've done a nice job here offensively to establish a rhythm and a pace to this game.
And I like that they're finding ways to score. Playing well here, Steve.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. So on the floor for Philadelphia. Mirza Teletovic out there with Pau Gasol. That's Andre Kirilenko. That's Tony Allen, and it's DeColo in at the 1 spot. Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Hey, guys. Roy Hibbert, the 17th overall pick back in 2008. But there were concerns about that he was too slow, not athletic enough. Hibbert said, people said I wouldn't be in the NBA. People said I wouldn't be a starting center. I just proved people wrong, and hopefully I'll be the best when it's all said and done. The best? He added, quote, I will be the best center in the league one day. With his remarkable improvement thus far, he's not far off.
Well, you combine that size and that will to dominate. He's become a big factor. Great stuff, Doris. Thanks. And it's the 76ers with the ball after the miss from Telfair. Thompson left side. Kicks it to Telfair. Pass to Hibbert. He dishes it to Telfair. Feeds it to Jerebko. No good on the triple. The 76ers trail.
Boy, there were a bunch of problems for Philadelphia last season, and a lot of them stemmed from the inability to score. Problems on offense typically make it harder for you to defend effectively, but also make it tougher for you on the road, too.
Now here is Kirilenko. Here's Jake Polo. Nailed from three-point land. Jake Polo's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Roten kicks to Telfair. Passes to Hibbert. Working on Gasol. And the foul called on Paul Gasol. That's foul number 2 for him.
And another foul would give him 3 before the half, something to keep our eyes on.
Some changes for Philadelphia. Garnett comes in for Mirza Teletovic. And Tayshaun Prince subbed in for Andre Kirilenko. Pass to Thompson. That's in, coming off an assist from Dragic. Dragic has got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. And Clark, to the point you made about the 76ers, scoring was hard enough for them at home. But with 20,000 people booing you and playing on 4 wins, Steve, it got that much tougher for him away from Philadelphia.
Well, let's be honest, Kevin. The whole season went down the drain with Andrew Bynum's injury because the team was going to be built around him. And when you can't throw the ball into the low post and you've given up your athletes on the perimeter, now you have no identity. And I think that was the issue for Philly last year.
The basket, the bump, and the foul. Oh, what a play.
Well, the biggest thing with Kevin Garnett is the impact he has on the game at the defensive end of the floor. He covers so much space. He's got those long arms. He's a wonderful communicator, kind of the quarterback of that defense. And he will shut down the player he's guarding on a nightly basis.
You know, it isn't just on defense that KG is a quiet influence. When he's on O, even if he's not scoring, he's drawing attention, creating space for his teammates, and then finding them for easy baskets. You just don't find post players like him very often. He's a once-in-a-generation kind of player.
Here's Hill following the bucket by the Celtics. George on the pass to Prince. Back to George. It's rebounded by Bosch.
There's no getting around the simple fact that that's a shot he has to knock down.
Dragic kicks to Bosch. Back to Dragic. The Celtics working the ball around now. Gay misses.
Last season was the best yet for Robin Lopez. Career highs pretty much across the board for Lopez as he stepped into the starting center role for New Orleans. Sometimes it's just a matter of opportunity before a player gains the confidence to be productive in a starting role.
Tries to keep it alive. Hill with it. Now guarded by Dragic. Hill passes to Garnett. Well, and he draws the foul. A chance for another point at the free throw line. Roy Hibbert picks one up.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Yeah, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
Reese Evans is checked in for Roy Hibbert. And for Robin Lopez, not the score that his twin brother Brooke is, but, you know, he's showing some signs offensively.
Well, he's efficient from the field and from the foul line, and the key for him is to continue to work on his rim protection, his defense in the lane. He's got potential to be very good in there.
Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had early.
George working against Evans. Garnett backing down. Hill. He feeds it to George. Clock at 6. Pulls up. High post. Gets the bucket. George has got his 3rd basket of the night right there. Celtics trail by 5. Dragic with it. Back to Bosch. Rudy Gay on the way. Gay gets a screen from Bosch. Thompson inside the line. Offensive rebound. Here's Evans. And it's blocked by Lopez. Outside Dragic. Gay sets the pick for Dragic. Dishes it to Gay. The feed now to Bosch. Sinks the 15-footer. Bosch has got his 2nd basket.
It's got to be nice for them to know that game in and game out, his offense is going to be there for him.
And there's the call on Bosch. That's his first foul.
Yeah, you know, these calls can be some of the toughest in the game for the officials.
It all happened so fast, but I really think that was the right call. The defender was not really set in that situation.
Celtics making a switch here. Martin's checked in, and that one's good. And that's 11 points for Kevin Garnett.
Really not hard to see why they're giving up points on this run. I mean, they've just given them too many looks inside.
Yeah, I mean, they're just getting pounded in there. The defense not offering much resistance. They've got to force the ball back out to the perimeter.
Celtics trailed by 5. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Bosch, a screen on Hill. Dragic dishes to Evans. That's in, coming off an assist from Dragic. Evans has got 5 points so far.
That's something we didn't see at all from him in the first half when he had a goose egg from three-point land.
And it's blocked by Bosch. Tipped away. Dragic off the bit from Martin. The dish to Gay. Pulls up on the wing. And again, it's Boston converted. The 76ers have gone 6 of 11 from the floor. Over 50% shooting here in the second quarter. Hill gets to George. He passes it to Prince. Feeds to Hill. Again missing Hill. Boston's gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. No good from Dragic.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job. They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
And even if it costs them some foul trouble, I mean, they need to start putting some bodies on bodies. Be physical.
It's Evans on the wing. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead.
Well, you know, it was last season that started the dissolution of the Big Three in Boston. Ray Allen leaving for Miami. That definitely ruffled some feathers with his former teammates, and they tried to replace him by committee at the shooting guard position and really had mixed results.
Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Purdy. Doris, what do you have?
Kevin, thank you. The Celtics, with the departure of Doc Rivers, going young at their head coaching position. They signed Butler University head coach Brad Stevens, 37 years of age. He may be young, but he's very accomplished. He won an NCAA Division I record 166 games through his first 6 years at Butler, a winning percentage of over 77%. And the Celtics are believers in his ability. They gave him a 6-year contract. Guys, they're confident he is the one to lead this team into a new era.
They all rave about his work ethic. Thank you so much, Doris. Willie Green's checked in for Boston. And Garnett misses. Boston's gotten cold from deep in the second quarter, just 2 of 6 from long range. Dragic gets the bucket. And despite losing Ray Allen, the Celtics shot more three-pointers last season.
Well, they added a couple of guys who could shoot threes, but remember, this is, over the last 5-6 years, has not been a high-volume three-point shooting team. It's been Ray Allen and Paul Pierce, and that's about it. So I think with this new crop of talent, I think you'll see Boston casting a lot more threes into the next few years.
Now here's Dragic following the shot by Tayshaun Prince. And it's Dragic off the drive. Good! Dragic has got 9.
Well, it looks like he's finally found his footing in this game. His first quarter was a real struggle, but he's gotten it going now.
Lopez sets a screen for Hill. From deep, George. That doesn't go either for George.
You know, they haven't been able to open up a big lead, but the rebounds are starting to add up for them. They may be able to go away a little bit.
Yeah, they've been doing the dirty work inside, Steve, playing a very tough brand of basketball. Phenomenal alley-oop slam right there, guys.
They're taking advantage, Clark, of a team that looks lost out there.
Yeah, this is threatening to get kind of ugly out here.
Garnett with a screen on Dragic. And here's George for 3. That doesn't go either for George.
This has not at all been the kind of performance they've needed out here.
Gay misses. The 76ers trail by 5. And George, here we go. And that time, also a missed shot. And now here's Dragic, the fast break chance. And the officials call goaltending, so he'll avoid the basket.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
Boris Diaz checked in for Robin Lopez. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. And here is Hill. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Charlotte.
And how about his defense? 4 steals on the night. He was so aggressive.
Just 4 to shoot. Here's Prince. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Prince has got 8 points. Here comes Goran Dragic. From the stripe. And released it in time, but it's off the mark. And a tight game here as we end the first half. Celtics lead by 4. We're going to step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Hello, everyone. I'm Damon Bruce, and the NBA season is really getting into gear. Boston leading against Philadelphia, a team definitely in the mix for the playoffs, and as a matter of fact, if they win this one, they'll move into the 8th spot. Goran Dragic certainly playing well so far. He's got 9 points, and he's stacking up the assists too, keeping the defense off balance with his passing. On the 76ers side, out in Charlotte, the Bobcats have the lead against
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game. Rudy Gay having a dominant impact in this game.
He has that slasher mentality, guys. We saw all the evidence of that in the first half as he continually got to the rim and scored.
Yeah, he had the jetpack on today, Steve, blowing by the defender no matter who they put on.
We got Rudy Gay. Roy Hibbert is out there with Chris Bosh. Then there's Dragic, and it's Thompson in at the 2-goal. That's who's in the game for the Celtics. Here's Dragic. Thompson right side.
Hey, Rudy.
Inside to Hibbert. Celtics passing it around. 5 on the clock. And Hill with the block. It's George on the wing. And unable there to get the go-ahead bucket.
Well, he's building a house with those bricks. I mean, one reason is he keeps trying to force it up when he's defended well. Move the ball. Share the sugar.
Thompson passes to Dragic. Gay outside. The tray. That's in. Coming off an assist from Dragic. Dragic has got assist number 9. Wow, what an effort here tonight. Hill picks the Prince. He dishes it to Garnett. And he draws body contact. Looked like a blocking foul, and he was in the shooting motion. So he'll head to the free throw line.
Well, you know, when Rajon Rondo went down last season and the Celtics looked to be out of any title contention, Kevin Garnett, guys, became a very hot topic on the trade market. And with his ability and experience, that should be no surprise.
We talked about what Garnett can bring to a team. He's still an impactful player. Defensively, a deadly jump shooter. He reached 25,000 points last season with Boston. Also a great passer.
But it's defensively where he really makes his mark. One of the best defensive forwards I think the league has ever seen. His ability to communicate, to guard pick and roll, to switch out onto point guards and stay in front of them. And then the intensity, the intangible that he brings to your club. Well, they need a shot or two to fall here soon. They're only 1 of 4 since the break.
Now here's Hill, the fast break opportunity. And it's out of bounds. The Celtics will take it the other way. And this is a good time to show you some of the league's most disruptive defenders over the past month. The steal leaders at the small forward. Second, Rudy Gay.
You know, if you're an opposing small forward, this could also be called a list of the league's most annoying players because they will be in your jersey all night when you're up against them.
And they're not just good on-the-ball defenders. They'll torment the players they're not guarding. A lot of those steals are the result of passes he gets his hands on away from the ball.
And stolen by Hibbert. Dragic kicks to Gay. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound. George has got 4 rebounds now tonight.
Well, there's a new ownership group in Philadelphia as of 2011. In this offseason, they pulled the trigger and brought in new leadership in the front office. Looks like they're jumping on the analytics bandwagon, hiring the former brain trust of the Houston Rockets.
Now a timeout called by Boston. And back to the Sixers. I guess for the Wall Street ownership group, going mathematical is something they were, Steve, pretty comfortable with.
Well, it's something that a lot of teams are going to now, Kevin. The new owners, a lot of the businessmen, they're going to turn to math to try to figure this whole thing out. Bottom line, though, is it's a combination. It's not just stats. It's talent, stats, chemistry, coaching, a lot of things that goes into winning.
Hill drives in. Back to Garnett. Working on Bosch. Shoots a fader. And Garnett misses. The Celtics with the lead. 3 on 3. Thompson dishes to Gay. And the layup is good. Gay's got 5 points in the quarter.
Yeah, and he's one player who doesn't need a lot of space to get to the basket. He's really crafty. He can blast his way straight through traffic. He's really strong.
And don't forget now, a walking highlight reel every time he steps on the court. This flair for the dramatic makes him worth the price of admission all by himself.
The mid-range jumper becomes a pretty high percentage shot for him when he has that kind of space.
And George kicks to Garnett. He's against Hibbert. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Guys, the Celtics went from being a powerhouse in the east and middle of the pack last season, but they still protected their home court as well as anybody. Easy to find inspiration here with the parquet floor under your shoes and the banners hanging over top.
Tony Allen's checked in for Tayshaun Prince. You do have to love the parquet floor here, as you said, Clark. The pride certainly a factor last season, as the Celtics were able to finish, Steve, with a 27-13 record here at their home.
And even though the Celtics would end up just as the 7th seed in the East, you knew they would control their home floor, but just because of their veteran experience, their talent, their coaching. So they were really able to ride that home court into the playoffs.
With the success they've been having from the three-point line since halftime, I'll bet you that scoreboard starts to look a lot different real soon.
Of course, they have to stay hot, but if they do, I think they're right, particularly if they can convert defense into offense.
The offensive rebound, and that one's good by Gay. Gay's got 7 points here in this quarter.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him.
Hill passes to George. The 3. That doesn't go either for George. Celtics leading by 4. Bosch kicks to Dragic. Rudy Gay on the way. 3-pointer. That's in, coming off an assist from Dragic. Dragic has got his assist totals piling up. 11 now for him. Hill dishes to George. And right away, they match it with a 3-pointer of their own. George has got 15.
Right back at you. They immediately get those 3 points back.
Trading punches, that's how you answer.
Dragic with it. He's picked up by Hill. Now here's Dragic. 9 points in the game so far. Backing down is Gay. Thompson. It's Dragic with the drive. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires. 11 points in the game.
4 of their last 5 makes came off of a high-quality shot inside.
Yeah, that's textbook basketball. Just having their way down low.
That doesn't go either for George.
Yeah, no excuses there. Got a really good look at the basket after being freed up by the pick.
We say it all the time. The execution was excellent. The result not as good, but good ball movement anyway.
Dragic against Hill. Here's Dragic. He's got 11. And the Celtics hit again from deep.
Seems like guarding him on the perimeter is not a priority for this defense, but it will become one if he continues to knock them down.
And Philadelphia calls time here. It's been quite a game for Rudy Gay.
He's in one heck of a groove with the scoring. They're going to talk it over and try to figure out how to slow him down.
Andre Kirilenko is checked in for Philadelphia. DeColo comes in for George Hill. Gasol kicks to George. Uses the glass to finish the layup. George has got 8 here in the quarter.
Nice touch near the hoop.
Celtics leading by 7.
You know, even though he's getting up there in years, guys, Powell's effectiveness shouldn't really drop off much. He's a long, skilled player who doesn't play off the ground very much, and his versatility should help his longevity.
The more touches he gets, the more this lead will grow. He has just been unconscious this quarter.
Now George. He's got 17. Lays it up and banks it in. George has got 10 points here in the second half. Clark, you mentioned the versatility of Pau Gasol. Steve, it's really the defining quality of his game, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the ability to do so many things offensively as a big guy just really completes a team. Now you can run any kind of offense you want. And Pau, as a passer, as a scorer, as a shooter, has been one of the best in the game for the last decade.
And the 76ers making a change here. Hill's checked in.
Even though he isn't having the best of game from the floor, it hasn't seemed to hurt him.
And there's the call on Sebastian Telfair. That's his first foul. On defense, Boston. George passes to Kirilenko. But they'll get another chance. Hill kicks to Allen. Pass to Kirilenko. Second chance shot, and it's good on the layup. Now just a 5-point Celtic lead. We've got 1:55 left in the third. Here is Telfair. He's guarded by Hill. Telfair kicks to Gay. Passes it to Bosch. Celtics passing it around. Beyond the arc. That's good from Gay on the assist by Telfair. And that's 31 points for Rudy Gay.
That's far too good a look to give them from behind the arc.
Well, that's 3 of the last 5 makes having been behind the three-point line. So got to make some adjustments defensively.
They're really getting the work done inside with their rebound.
Now, not giving up too many second chance opportunities, which is always important, and it's been one of the reasons they have the lead right now.
Well, you know, it's interesting, guys. Klay Thompson, as we all know, is a deadly outside shooter. But I think early in his NBA career, he struggled a bit with his touch around the rim. Well, it's nice to see as last season wore on, he started to find that touch around the glass and finish against bigger guys, which is much needed at the two-guard position.
Well, and Clark, going back to Klay Thompson, he wants to be a complete player. His dad certainly was, and you know, Steve, he's just not a shooting specialist.
No, he's got the size and ball handling ability to really attack off the dribble. And he's also become an excellent defender, too. Fred Popovich talked about it during their playoff series a year ago. Thompson really did a nice job at that end of the floor.
Alvin Lopez is checked in for Philadelphia.
He has really put his foot on the pedal. This squad is doing a tremendous job leading their offense.
And George, here we go. It's Prince on the wing. They get it again. Lopez kicks to Allen. Pass to George. He feeds it to Hill. A three-pointer is right on target. Hill's got 5.
Talk about doing a Rip Van Winkle on defense. Come on, guys, wake up. Why are they leaving him open at the three-point line? Come on.
Thompson with the bucket.
Well, even with the double team, he had the vision to find the open man.
.26 seconds left to play in the third. He kicks it to Allen. It's back to Hill. 6 to shoot. And Boston with the rebound. Gay's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Outside Bosch. From deep three-point range. No good on that last second attempt there. And as we end the third quarter, a double. And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for Boston.
Boy, their passing has been picturesque, a thing of beauty in both halves. More than a few of their baskets have come off assists.
And one other thing I would add is that the mid-range game has been really impressive. I mean, they're showing great touch on some of those 15, 17-footers.
On the court for Philadelphia to start the fourth. Pablo Prigioni is out there with George Hill. Then there's Robin Lopez. Then there's Boris Diaw. And it's Prince in at the three spot.
He has really punished these defenders today. No matter who's been on him, he's been giving them medicine.
Here's Prigioni. And here's Hill for three. Another three for Philadelphia.
The defenders need to talk to each other. The communication lacking there on that three-pointer.
Dragic off the pick from Martin. It's Dragic with the drive. Thompson dishes to Dragic. Back to Thompson. Offensive rebound Celtics. Goes back up. Misses the layup. The 76ers trail by 11. Prince, the pass to Lopez. Off the mark, and a chance to trim it to single digits. The Celtics have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter.
Philadelphia needs to do a better job guarding against Rudy Gay.
He has 38 points and just an amazing performance from downtown.
He is raining down the threes, guys. You know how much I love to see this.
And Philadelphia making a change here. George is checked in. And the 76ers shooting 43% from the floor.
I see him.
And Prigioni kicks to Diaw. Now the pass to Prigioni. The feed to Diaw. This is to Prigioni.
Come get it, come get it.
Shot clock at 6. There's the three. Another three for Philadelphia.
And we've seen a few mix-ups defensively out there on the perimeter.
More than a few. I mean, the open looks they've allowed from long range have turned into a lot of points.
Here's Gay. Right through the knee for the win. Gay's got 42 in the game.
He's one of the best in the league at that. Even with just a tiny sliver, he always seems to find a way to get it up and in.
Here's Diaw. And the 76ers tack on 2 more. So it's Boston now. They've led by as many as 14 points. Now here's Dragic, defended by Prigioni. Releases. It's good from about 19 feet. And that's 13 points for Goran Dragic.
They're perfectly content to keep going to that mid-range jumper. If the defense is going to give it to them, they'll take it all day.
Yeah, why not? I mean, you have to just take what's there, and as long as you're moving the ball and getting good shots, that's all that matters.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Kevin, during that last break, I heard the 76ers coach as he addressed his team. He told them that they simply have to step up, saying if we don't make a move now, it's going to be too late. Give them everything you've got. Kevin?
Thanks, Doris. Hill drives in. George. Prince dishes to Diaw. Kicks it to George. Fires from deep. That doesn't go either for George.
They've shown effort and aggression in the paint right from the tip. Their rebounding edge is impressive.
And I'll tell you what, they've turned a lot of those rebounds into points at the other end.
And the shot is good. And it's 9 points for Davis.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they built this lead for themselves here.
Outside Hill. There's the dish to George. Prince outside. Back to George. Shot clock at 5. Prince. And he's good on the 3 ball.
Second three-pointer of the half, 4th overall. So he's having a nice game from outside.
Pau Gasol's checked in for Philadelphia. Celtics leading by 13. Gay sets the pick for Dragic. Gay outside. Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation. Moment to see how the schedule is looking for Philadelphia. Atlanta will be traveling to face them after this game. That game is the first and last of their homestand.
Boy, that's a game you know the Heat would really like to take.
Here's Garnett, and he banks in the layup.
What an excellent performance from the field for him.
For Boston, they've gone 5 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Strong work at that end of the floor. Dragic with it. Gay right side. From past the arc. The shot will not go. Hill inside. He's guarded by Dragic. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. One free throw coming his way.
Well, usually you think of the Sixers as a team that likes to play deliberate and slow things up a bit, but boy, they struggled to score last year. A big part of the struggle was that they just didn't get to the free throw line very much.
Well, Clark, as you said, with the 76ers, they made the fewest free throws in the entire league last season, mostly because they were second to last in attempts. Steve, part of that is pace, but a lot of it was not having, players attack the rim.
And more than anything, Kevin, it was just lack of talent. I mean, they didn't have enough guys with the ability and the physical skills and tools to get to the rim and attack defenses.
Gay passes to Thompson. From 15 feet away, with the putback, controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. And 11 points for Davis.
Well, I'm impressed with the determination he showed right there, getting himself in a good position under the glass. Did his work early there.
Yeah, with the presence of mind, know just where the rebound was going to go to.
And then the nifty touch to tip it in. That was beautiful.
And stolen by Hibbert. And pushing it up, here's Boston. Thompson with the ball. Tayshaun Prince with the rebound. Prince has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play.
Things are really tightening up now, guys. Their offense has become unstoppable.
Not sure where it was before, but better late than never.
And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the 76ers?
So far, they've turned in a fantastic performance from the three-point line. It's been a weapon all game.
Now, their passing also continues to be outstanding, Clark. In the second half, we were really seeing a good, efficient offense as a result of that ball movement.
Dragic against Prince. Dragic kicks to Gay. Shoots it up. Kevin Garnett grabs the miss. Out of bounds, Philadelphia takes possession. And this is what the schedule looks like for the Boston Celtics. When this game is done, they'll be off to take on the Raptors. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip.
Some really good games going on, and that Toronto one has caught my eye.
Garnett with the screen on Thompson. Deflected. Here's George. Kicks it out to Prince. Makes it off the glass. Prince has got 5 points now in the quarter.
Well, they've done a great job of getting into the middle of that defense and scoring in the paint.
Well, and that's why they're on this run, guys. They're getting the ball inside and getting really high percentage looks.
Right side Davis. And Philadelphia grabs the miss.
Tough D on the inside.
Put up a roadblock, construction barrel right there. That's what he brings defensively.
Hill kicks to George. They get it back. Here's Gasol. Goes up and lays it nice and easy.
And they're beginning to fall apart a little bit defensively, especially inside.
Well, that's 4 straight buckets now at the rim.
Thompson dishes to Dragic. He passes to Gay. That's it 5. And that's good. And it's Dragic with the assist. Gay's got 44.
These guys putting on a clinic out there. Everything is sound and sharp and crisp. He's really the centerpiece of their offense.
Back to Garnett. And he goes up strong with one hand and flushes it down.
Boy, they ran a nice play there, Kevin, to set up the easy dunk.
Yeah, he got help from his teammate and ran his man right straight into the pick.
Yep, and that's the offensive player's job. Run him into the screen.
And it was a great pick, too, Clark. I mean, he may have lowered his shoulder a little bit, but he got him pretty clean.
George passes to Garnett. Hill. Philadelphia moving the ball around. And George kicks to Prince. 6 to shoot. The 76ers need to get off a shot. That doesn't go either for George.
Looks like he's just trying to shoot his way out of this cold spell, but I don't know about that shot attempt.
And that's out of bounds. Boston will retain possession. Boston making a switch here. Bosch is checked in. Here's Dragic. And Gasol sends it back. That'll be Boston as it goes out of bounds. Celtics retain possession. And Boston has possession. 3-point lead. And Thompson kicks to Dragic. 3 from Dame. The shot no good. And it's Philadelphia the other way. Here's George. Buries it down low. George has got 15 points here in the second half.
Defender a little hesitant to offer resistance as he bursts to the hoop.
1:51 left in the fourth quarter. Dragic off the pick from Bosh to the paint. And that's good. And it's Dragic with the assist. 11 points for Chris Bosh.
So nice to have a guy like that who can take charge at any time.
Yeah, so many of his passes, Steve, have led directly to baskets.
Prince kicks to George. It's up against Thompson. And Paul George again. George has got 26 points.
Boy, they are having their way in the paint right now. So many looks right at the rim.
Defensive rotations have been a step slow, and it's helped them get the ball in close time after time, Steve.
And Bosh backs down. Dragic kicks to Thompson. Feeds it to Gay. 5 to shoot. Hibbert up top. And it's good. With time running down on the shot clock. And the Celtics lead by 3.
Wow, huge shot. Listen to this crowd.
It sounds like a rock concert in here.
Well, they've been waiting to explode all game, and they finally got a reason to do so.
And it's Hill penetrating. Right side Hill. And here's Dragic. Clark, they'll be trying to take as much time off the clock as they can.
Exactly. Expect to see some long possessions out of them going forward.
Back to Bosh. Bosh can't get that one to fall. Philadelphia's gone beyond the arc 7 times here in the fourth and been successful 3 times. George dishes to Prince. Can't tie it up as that one's no good. Now here's Dragic. And they commit an intentional foul. We'll see another one of those so they can get into the penalty.
Smart foul there. You got to try to extend the game.
Yeah, it's still close, but they're fighting that clock as much as the score right now.
That's the first, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. And he cannot convert on the second. That misses. Here's Garnett. And George kicks to Prince. Another miss by Philadelphia. And they're going to prolong the game here with an intentional foul. And no good is the first free throw missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second. And he does get the second one. And that puts them up by 5. And the 76ers call time here. They're behind by 5. 3 seconds left in the fourth. Guys, what's your take?
Well, this one's in the bag. I mean, I commend them for really putting forth the effort until the very end. But this thing's over.
Sometimes you just have to throw up the white towel and let fate run its course so you can get on to the next game.
And so it's the Boston Celtics with the W. Both teams played well, but these guys had the edge.
Yeah, I think so. They were just steak-knife sharp. Very on top of their game here.
Well said. Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark, Stephen Doris, and the rest of the crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying